All right, Todd's back. Both of us had our teams shellacked over the weekend, so we're basically talking about what food we ate over the weekend because we don't want to talk about the games.
Yeah.
So nothing to see there. So.
You've had a day and a half to reflect on it and start to move on. I'm still licking my wounds.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you've got a few more wounds to lick than I do.
Yeah.
My team just got smashed. So.
Yeah, and your team has a bright future and mine doesn't. So.
So there's that.
And it's had a really bright past too. Snow has started to fall down in York County. This is the Maine Turnpike in Kennebunk. And you can see that it's tough to see, but you can make out that there's some snow piling up there on the shoulders of these lanes. So deteriorating road conditions as the storm moves in. The worst of it is right here down on the south coast of Massachusetts, about to slam into Boston, and that's translating northward. It's still a few hours from us here in southern Maine and several hours from us here in eastern Maine. So we do have some time before it gets to us, but out ahead of it, it's snowing, and the snow intensity is really picking up now down in York County. Flakes have begun to fly in Portland. They're pressing up toward Gray right now and closing in on Lewiston, Auburn, and our capital of Augusta, too. There's the low, and somewhat unusual path for it. A lot of our storms that come up from the south take a coastal route, and we stay mostly snow. We get north winds. We stay colder. But this one's going to drive right up through the gut of New England, and that'll introduce some warmth coming in out of the south-southeast, which is a terrible wind direction for us. Doesn't matter the time of the year, but in the wintertime it brings in warmer temperatures and changes snow over to rain. And that's what we'll see happen here along the immediate coastline after a quick burst of snow to start the day. It will be intense, and then it changes to rain, but the road conditions are going to be real bad. Thankfully, it's not a very big commute today with a lot of kids off from school from MLK Junior Day. The winds will be ramping up this morning, too, and I'd say by 9 o'clock this morning through about 11 o'clock this morning in the Portland area, the wind is really going to crank. And then that damaging wind targets the mid-coast and down east areas midday into the early afternoon. And we'll see the rain and snow start shutting off across the south. So the worst begins to move through by midday and starts to bang into eastern areas. And then we all get a little break from the action, and as the storm moves out, there'll be some lingering flakes and some drops, but it'll be much better for the evening. Be prepared, though, for refreezing later tonight. So tomorrow morning, your first step will probably be a slippery one, and especially in places that get the most significant rain, which will be along the coastline. We'll get a couple of inches of snow to start at the coast, and then it does go to rain. You go inland, those numbers ramp up pretty quickly. Lewiston, Auburn, Augusta to about Bangor. You're in a 4 to 8 area for snow. The mountains still get plastered. This is great news for ski resorts, getting around a foot, if not a little bit more. Highly concerned for the wind. As I mentioned, it'll be picking up pretty quickly here. By 7 a.m., we're seeing gusts in the 40s along the coast. And then here we go, mid-morning, 10 o'clock. There could be a gust to 60 miles per hour along the south coast. And then that works up to the mid and down east coast into the early afternoon. The wind will settle this afternoon, but it won't go calm. And then it changes directions and goes into the northwest tonight, and that brings in much colder air, and we'll see somewhat of a flash freeze later tonight, and that's why I'm a little concerned for some black ice tomorrow morning. Again, power outage risk highest along the immediate coastline. They are likely, and there will probably be a lot of outages. Sadly, it's the winter time. You never want to see a power outage in the winter because it's cold and it's tough to heat the house. Just be prepared to be without power for a while, and have some sort of alternate heating source or a place to go to stay warm in case you lose power. Marine forecast, wow, the seas building up to 20 feet, the gusts of wind out of the southeast to 60 knots. I don't think anyone will be out there today. Snow changes to mixed precipitation inland, and snow changes to rain at the coastline. We'll have a lot of wind out there today, highs 35 to 40. Tomorrow the sun returns. It'll be breezy and it will be colder with highs in the 20s. A few snow showers on Wednesday, clearing out on Thursday, and then it's back into the deep freeze for Friday and for most of the weekend. We'll be watching Saturday. There may be a threat there for a storm. Right now it looks like it stays offshore, but we'll keep an eye on it. After this storm here on Monday, Lee, a lot of this week will be a lot quieter. We won't have another storm until maybe the weekend.
All right, well, I'll give you some time off. You've been busy lately, so we'll give you that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.